Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. My name is MiAh the King, and I have an inferiority complex, but it's not a very good one. Now then, today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called While the Iron's Hot, an adventure crafting game where you play as a blacksmith who explores around, goes on adventures, solves puzzles, and, well, just crafts things, I guess. Also, sorry that I have not put out a video in a little while. My family and I got COVID, go figure, so I'm still actually kind of recovering from that, so, wish us luck. Anyway, this game was developed by Bontemps Games and published by Humble Games. This game was released not in early access and is selling for $20 American. A friendly reminder, this is more of a surface review and not a deep dive review. Please keep that in mind as you continue watching. So, what the heck is this game? Well, that's what I wanted to know. If you've been watching my channel a while, then you know I love to find me a good blacksmithing game, but I've yet to really find one that just perfectly scratches that itch. So here I am checking out yet another one, hoping it'll finally scratch that itch. Basically, in this game, you play as a no-named aspiring blacksmith, and by no-name, I mean you can name him yourself. And unfortunately, you cannot customize your character. Anyway, he wants to go off to the island of fancy artisans and become the next big legendary blacksmith, and if he's gonna do it, he's gotta do it at the legendary island of artisans. But then some stuff happens, and you crash land, luckily there, and find out that each artisan profession is sectioned off into their own little towns. You've got a lumberjack town, a miner town, and a blacksmithing town. The blacksmithing town, however, is run down, without any crafters, and it's up to you to rebuild it, rebuild the reputation of blacksmiths, and forge relations with the other towns, all to bring back prosperity. That's pretty much the gist of the story right there. So now, as always, let's go into the good and the bad, followed by my final thoughts, shall we? Now, let's start with the positives as we always do. The first thing that really stuck out to me was the music. It was really nice and catchy and pleasing. I was afraid it would disappear or it would ruin itself, but it didn't. The fun, fancy music stuck around the whole time, never fading away or becoming obnoxious, which was awesome. And then you've got the sound effects. There was no voice acting, by the way, but for the sounds, they're also awesome. When you're playing a blacksmithing game, one thing that you really want there to be there is some oomph to your hammer smacks and your sharpenings and whatnot, And this game brings it home with these sound effects. They sound great. So all in all, it was just a great experience to listen to. Next up for the positives is the gameplay. The gameplay is tons of fun, and it's very simple yet complicated as well as addictive. Hell, I almost forgot I was doing a review when I was playing because I was so caught up in it. In this game, the blacksmithing isn't just hitting a button and being done with it. No. It also has mini-games for each function of the blacksmithing steps that make sense. It's got recipes that you need to follow to the letter, or else you won't craft what you're trying to craft. It's very similar to the way Minecraft does it when, they take materials and arrange them in certain spots in the crafting box and then they assemble all together into that item. Luckily, the game gives you a little shortcut to pull up the recipes so you don't have to worry about memorizing anything. You also have a large map that you can explore and forage, people to meet, quests to fulfill, the town and house of yours that you can upgrade, and a friendly ox who becomes your friend and companion that you can dress up with funny hats or high heels. Oh, the wondrous world of While the Iron's Hot. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, but that's all I've discovered so far. Basically, the crafting of individual items is all very fun and engaging, plus it makes sense, and even though it's a bit complicated with the different steps and minigames, it's still simple enough to learn quickly and to understand overall. Plus, there's the progression, the different prestige levels you can attain, and the resource gathering. At first, it's simple, easy stuff like random wood and iron ore, but eventually you start to get things like ever-burning candles and I'm not sure, just, others that I haven't found yet, all of which you need to gather yourself. There's also random puzzles and mazes you need to get through and figure out for different levels, for random events or random stuff you can find, and so far they were a lot of fun. So there's tons of stuff that you can experience in this game, and I'm not even 2 hours in yet. Next up for the positives is the user interface. There's appropriate shortcut keys. The overall UI is simple to understand, easy to navigate, with appropriate functions, tooltips, mechanics, and just overall the user interface along with its control scheme are very appropriate and perfectly designed in my opinion. The next thing I want to make brief mention of is the tutorial. It's short and sweet and to the point. Kind of like my videos. Tells you what you need to know in a timely, no-nonsense manner with a tiny bit of comedy mixed in. It's not in your face, it doesn't drone on, and overall you get the general message of what it's trying to tell you. You see the similarities yet? The next two things I want to talk about are small, so I'm going to combine them. The stability and the price. The game played smooth as butter without a single glitch, bug, or error to be found. And the price tag, in my opinion, seems very appropriate. Now, I don't know how long this game is going to be, and I don't know everything that it may or may not offer. And at first glance, I'm not even too sure if this game is indeed worth $20. It might just be a bit overpriced, maybe $15 would be more appropriate. However, since I'm really enjoying it so far, and I've not gotten very far, I'd like to think that it's still got bucket loads to show me, and for me to experience, as well as time for me to play, thus eventually making it worth that asking price, which is why I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I think it's appropriate. A $20 price tag for a small little gift of a game. And last but not least, I want to make special mention of is the writing. The creativity, the nuances, the humor, the intelligence, it's all very well written to be engaging, funny, interesting, and all in all captivating. Now don't get me wrong, it's not Shakespeare or The Witcher or anything, but it's still good enough writing that I never once was annoyed by it, I was never irritated by it, confused by it, and I was never drawn out of it. So that's gotta be good. Okay, so that's all I got for the positives about the game. Now I gotta go on to the negatives. But before that, I humbly ask you to please support my small channel. Small channels like mine don't get a whole lot of help in our growth. So we rely heavily on our personal charm, which I seem to be lacking at the moment. A funny gag, which I seem to be lacking at the moment. Or an incredibly unique take on the type of content being put out, which I also seem to be lacking at the moment. The point is, if you guys like, subscribe, and most importantly share my content online, it helps the speed at which my channel grows. See, the more my channel gets noticed, the faster it grows. In other words, the more views I get, the more views I'll get. Get it? So I'd really appreciate any support you wonderful viewers out there could give me. Thanks. Now then, on to the negatives, and I've got nothing. Yeah, I got none. I don't have anything. Even while trying to nitpick, I got nothing. The graphics are pixelated, but a lot of people like that, myself included. It's kind of slow, but I mean, it's a relaxing simulation style game, so that kind of comes with the territory. That's not that big a deal. Oh, I got it. The traveling around the world. It's kind of annoying. It's a bit slow, it's a bit awkward, and the going back and forth to various villages to turn in quests is also annoying. And what's also annoying is that every time you accidentally bump into something, your character literally bounces off of it, and then it slows you down and stops you. Plus, you can't go up and to the right at the same time, and up and then right, almost like you're playing an old Game Boy game. Back to the quests I was talking about, you have to go to a village, grab their requests, then you have to go back to your village, spend forever crafting all their items, then travel all the way back to turn them in. As of right now, as far as I've found, there's no fast travel, and even when I unlocked a cart for my ox to pull me around in, I still travel the same speed across the world map, so it's kind of annoying. Now, I guess the only bright side there is that the cart does allow you to blacksmith on the move, but if that's the case and you never have to go back to your town, then what's the point of you having a town? See, I'm a little confused. I don't understand that. I guess because you have the smith, you know, the furnace at your town, so you'd have to go back every now and then to smelt a bunch of iron ore. I don't know. It seems a little awkward and annoying to me. So yeah, that's it. That's the only negative I could really find with the game. That and maybe the fact that you can't customize your character. Oh, I just thought of another one. There's very little depth to the game. Again, not a really big issue, but it's one of those where, you know, this isn't Stardew Valley or My Time at Portia. As far as I know, there's no getting married or having kids or even decorating your house or any kind of slice of life aspects. But I don't really feel like that's really required for this either. So again, a very minor nitpick. Look, I tried, alright? The thing is, I can't really find anything that bad about this game. So let's just sum up. All in all, if you like relaxing simple games, and if you like simulation games, or if you like blacksmithing games, then I would highly encourage you guys to check this out. I definitely recommend giving it a try. It's put together very, very well. But there's no combat, there's no stress, there's no strain, there's nothing challenging. So if you were looking for something with more adventure, or combat, or challenge, or slice of life, then you might want to look elsewhere. Alright? Okay, so yeah, that's all I got for this video. So yeah, thanks so much everybody for watching. A special thanks to those who made it to the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.